Hey, what's up? This video I've made is a somewhat comprehensive guide to get the best start in Dark Souls 1. The current gameplay you're seeing is one of my older New Game Plus characters. For the purpose of this video, I'm going to start a new build, a new character, show you how you can level it up, the early game weapons you can acquire, and which ones you should be using at this point in the game. You don't need to follow the guide completely, especially the points where I level up my attributes. That's all up to you and how you want to play. Anyways, enjoy the video. At this point, I'm gonna make my character and show you the best build to start off with. Of course, you can choose whatever you want. It's up to you, but I'd rather start with the warrior class. Some people might think it's best to choose obviously the knight, but really the warrior starts off with the best stats, okay gear. The knight does start off with some decent gear, but the warrior at this point is the best. For your gift, you're gonna want to be choosing the master key. It really unlocks some doors in the game, and it's a really good thing to start off with if you're new. The rest of the other options, they're all just customizable cosmetics. They don't really affect gameplay at all. The races, it doesn't really affect anything. Although if you do choose the thief as your class, then you would already spawn in with the master key. So for your gift, you'd rather choose the black fire bombs, and that'll be relevant later on in the game. Right about now, a cutscene's gonna play after I press accept. I'm gonna just be quiet and let you watch it.
In the age of ancients, the world was unformed, shrouded by fog. A land of grey crags, arch trees, and everlasting dragons. But then there was fire, and with fire came disparity. Heat and cold, life and death, and of course, light and dark. Then from the dark they came and found the souls of lords within the flame. Nito, the first of the dead. The Witch of Izalith and her daughters of Chaos. Gwyn, the Lord of Sunlight, and his faithful knights. And the furtive pygmy, so easily forgotten. With the strength of lords, they challenged the dragons. Gwyn's mighty bullets peeled apart their stone skills. Witches weaved great firestorms. Nito unleashed a miasma of death and disease. Seath, the Scaleless, betrayed his own, and the dragons were no more. Thus began the Age of Fire. But soon the flames will fade, and only dark will remain. Even now, there are only embers, and man sees not light, but only endless nights. And amongst the living are seen carriers of the accursed dark side.
So what you just watched initially was basically the backstory to the lore of the game. It's not really relevant currently right now, but the four main characters you saw, they will play a huge role later on in the
The
game.
dark sign brands the undead. And in this land, the undead are corralled and led to the north. Where they are locked away to await the end of the world. This is your fate.
Who we just saw there that night, that was Oscar. He's a character that the fan base kind of loves. He does save you by giving you this key to open your cell. So right now, these writings, these marks on the floor, you see the tips to tell you the controls, whatnot. The enemies you see around you, they're not worth killing. They don't give many souls, and they're not hostile to you at all. But this enemy that we're gonna come across right now, what the tip initially says is that enemies with red eyes, they're a lot more dangerous. Right now, it doesn't really matter, but later on in the game, it will. You know, enemies with red eyes. Right about now, we're gonna come across our first bonfire. These are like safe checkpoints where you can refill your health and things like that. Right now, we're just gonna light the bonfire right now and head through these double doors. Whilst opening these doors, you can probably see at the top of the screen there's a very big enemy up there. Right now, right about now, he's gonna drop down, and if you're next to him, he will deal damage. But right now, you can't fight him. You're gonna head through this gate on the left. Obviously, it'll close. If you did choose the thief class and got the black firebombs gift, you can throw the bombs at him and kill him there and then, and you'll get an item. It won't really help you because you're choosing the thief class. That's more of a stealth class. You're gonna get a strength weapon instead. Right now, you're gonna pick up the heater shield. So just gonna have a quick look at the stats. And obviously, you can see damage reduction physical is 100. So it basically means when using the shield, when you're blocking with it, you'll take 0 damage. But if you do get hit, obviously you can see in the top left hand corner, your stamina does go down a slight bit, but not too much. Now right about now, we're gonna pick up the longsword, which is gonna be our main weapon for a while right now. It's a decent weapon. It does 80 damage if you're holding it in one hand, plus 12 damage if you're holding it in 2 hands. It does no magic, no fire, no lightning. 100 critical though, so it's a decent weapon at the beginning of the game. And now we're just gonna head up these stairs real quick, and we're gonna kill this enemy right here. So what you can see I was trying to do is try and get behind the enemy and perform a backstab, which initially starts like a little move, a finisher, deals more damage than a basic attack. But I didn't do it, I kind of flopped. But anyways, by coming through this white wall kind of, you're gonna see this item. You can't get to it right now, so there's nothing down there. But later on, when you come back to this area, you can get it. And it's a pretty good item that you will kind of need later on. Now we're gonna head down here, and this is just gonna open a quick shortcut up. So if you do die, you can go through here, get your souls back, things like that. Now heading up here, you want to be careful. A boulder will roll down. I did get hit by it. I went in the wrong direction, but it will open up this wall. Now you're gonna head in, and we're gonna see our boy Oscar. He's a bit dead, but you're gonna speak to him.
You're no hollow. Thank goodness. I'm done for, I'm afraid. I'll die soon, then lose my sanity. I wish to ask something of you. You and I, we're both undead. Hear me out, will you? Regrettably, I have failed in my mission, but perhaps you can keep the torch lit. There is an old saying in my family. Thou who art undead art chosen. In thine exodus from the undead asylum, maketh pilgrimage to the land of ancient lords. When thou ringeth the bell of awakening, the fate of the undead thou shalt know. Well, now you know. And I can die with hope in my heart. Oh, one more thing. Here, take this. An Estus flask. An undead favorite. Oh, and this. Now I must bid farewell. I would hate to harm you after death. So go now, and thank you.
So the item he gives you, SS flasks, is what you're going to be using to heal yourself in the game. Obviously you can get more later on. There's a way you can do it, and plus you can increase the strength of it so you get more health from it. So we're going to go up here, we're going to kill the enemy, and we're going to open this door with the key he just gave us. You can ignore these markings, they tell you how to backstab, I'm pretty sure. And going around this corner, you're going to see 3 enemies, 2 of them have swords, one of them has a bow. To avoid having to obviously fight all 3 of them at the same time, you can lead them around the corner, kill them. Just keep on blocking with your shield. This is the plus side of using the warrior. You're getting the 100% damage reduction from the shield, which is pretty good. That's the reason why I picked it. Now going around this corner, we're gonna see this stronger enemy. Like I tried to parry him. Obviously I flawed. Parrying is a very hard mechanic, but instead I was able to do a backstab. Just gonna see what I meant by it deals a bit more extra damage. I'm gonna heal again, and now he's gonna heal. These enemies can't heal themselves. Obviously they're undead like us, but they do start an animation and you can just kill them during it. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna go through this white wall here, right? And the enemy is gonna be on the other side, but the thing is we're gonna be above it. So when you're dropping down, you can hold R1 or whatever your main attack thing is. You can deal a fall attack kind of, and deal extra damage to the enemy. Now this is the boss, but he's pretty easy to fight, obviously being the first boss in the game. And after he's dead, you're gonna get the big pyramid key, humanity, and obviously I just waited to see if I get my souls. You will get 2,000 in the bottom right corner. You get them after killing bosses, enemies. So bosses will drop the most amount of souls. But anyways, we're gonna open this big door here, and we're gonna leave to the last part of the end of the asylum. I went down here thinking there was a soul item here. I can't remember, there is a soul item around this area. Pretty sure it's a bit more upwards. Down here there's really nothing. Going left here, then down this sort of path around the wall. Be a bit careful so you don't fall off. You're gonna find a soul item, which if you use you get souls. And we're gonna head to another sort of path, and we're gonna see the birds.
You, give me warm, give me soft.
So what these birds are, if you drop them certain items, they'll give you certain items back. And I don't really know the item drops. If you search up on the wiki, I'm pretty sure they'll show you. The weapon you can get for killing the boss we just fought, the asylum demon, you can get it by dropping a sack.
Only in the ancient legends it is stated that one day an undead shall be chosen. To leave the undead asylum in pilgrimage to the land of the ancient lords. Lordran.
So we've spent around a good 8-9 minutes in the asylum. It's a sort of tutorial area, but now we're here in the main hub, Filing Shrine, and this is the main bonfire out of the entire game. This area is your hub. It takes you to all the different areas in the game. Now we're about to go talk to this person here.
What do we have here? You must be a new arrival. Let me guess. Fate of the undead, right? Well, you're not the first. But there's no celebration here. You'd have done better to rot in the undead asylum. But too late now. Well, since you're here, let me help you out. There are actually two bells of awakening. One's up above in the undead church. The other is far, far below, in the ruins at the base of Blight Town. Ring them both, and something happens. Brilliant, right? Not much to go on, but I have a feeling that won't stop you. So, off you go. It is why you came, isn't it? To this accursed land of the undead?
So what he's told you is the only direction you're really gonna get in this game. The reason why people find it hard is because it doesn't tell you where to go or what to do. You have to kind of discover it, find out all yourself. But now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna run around right now. I'm gonna collect some items. So just follow the route I'm taking. I'm gonna get some pretty good starter items that will help you in the game. If you go up these stairs here, take a left, you're gonna find some fire bombs. They're not gonna be black fire bombs, they're the stronger ones. You're gonna find the normal ones. They deal good damage, but not as much as the black ones. Heading up these stairs here, we're gonna find an NPC we can talk to. So just have a quick chat with him and follow what I'm doing.
Hello there. I believe we are not acquainted. I am Petrus of Thurland. Have you business with us? If not, I prefer to keep a distance, if possible. Hello there. I realize that I have requested that we retain our distance, but I also want you to know that it is not meant in ill will. Here, take this as a token of peace. No, go ahead. It's for you. Oh my, you again. Oh, I know. How about this? I have to await my companions here anyway. So what if I were to teach you some miracles? Would that please you? Very well. Then first, a covenant with the gods. Now let me share my miracles. Only their ultimate effectiveness will be determined by your efforts and your faith.
So what we've just done right now with this guy is that we've joined his guild, his covenant, his group. Now he sells miracles. They're pretty decent, but for this character, I'm not really going to be using them. He also sells a talisman and the Thurland talisman, which is a bit better. But right now, we're going to go get our own talisman. Make sure you learn this gesture. I'm pretty sure nearly every NPC has one, so it's pretty good to collect all them all if you're looking for that 100% completion. Now, anyways, we're going to go up the stairs here. And we're going to take a right again, and we're going to find another soul item. There's a couple around this whole area. Now the way you get back is you should drop down from here if you want to. I tried to make this jump, but I failed, and I kind of ended up in this spot here. You can just repeat what we did, go back up these stairs. But instead of going all the way up, we're gonna go down this elevator shaft, which is kind of gonna lead us to this secret area, this treasure hoard that most people miss through here. And there's about, I think, 4 chests in this first one. We're gonna get the homeward bones, we're gonna get 6. They're pretty good. We're gonna need them for the next part of this guide. We're gonna find the Morningstar talisman. The Morningstar is a pretty good weapon to have. Open this chest, we're gonna get some cracked red eye orbs, and that's basically the multiplayer of the game. If you use them, you invade another person's world, and you have to kill them if you want to leave, or if you die, you leave as well. And here we're gonna get a Lloyd's talisman, which is another good weapon later on. It's, all the items you found there is really for a faith build, except the cracked red eye orbs and the homeward bones. They're pretty useful for everybody. Now what we've done is we aggroed those skeletons over there, so now they're gonna come chase after us. So we're just gonna head back to the bonfire and quickly reset the world. Whenever you go to a bonfire, all the enemies reset, you know, they go back to their normal passive stance. And then you get closer again, they're gonna go aggro. But now after you've rested, they're gonna leave you alone. Now I'm pretty sure right now we're gonna go do one of the harder aspects of this run, which is we're gonna go and we're gonna grab some items, but we're not gonna fight any enemies. We're pretty much gonna run all the way past them. Now make sure you equip your homeward bones for this run and follow the exact same steps as I do. Don't try fight these enemies, they're way stronger than you. You know, this area is meant for a higher level character, you know, later on in the game. So we're gonna pick up these soul items, just run past all of these skeletons, things like that. I'm gonna remain quiet so you guys can concentrate. Okay, so that was one part of the run. Obviously, when you're done, you're gonna return to the bonfire, reset all the enemies in the area so they don't go aggro. And now we're gonna go do it again, but we're gonna go in a different order. You're gonna have to use a homeward bone at the end of this, and it's gonna save you some time. Obviously, there's a risk of you dying on this one. This part's a little harder because you get stuck a lot more. So now I've finished this part of the run. We're now gonna go down into a different area. We're gonna grab some items. We're gonna meet two new NPCs. We're also gonna have to go do another run past this stronger enemy. It's a lot more difficult this run now. This person here is the Firekeeper. She doesn't speak, but what she can do is she can reinforce your Estus flask, making it so you get more health per drink of it. And we're gonna go do that right now. We're gonna go get a certain item in a minute. Right now, just follow where I'm going. We're gonna have to go down this elevator, open this gate up in a minute. From this point, you just want to follow where I'm going. I'm going to collect any soul items in the area. And then we're going to go to a different area, the Valley of Drakes later on. You're going to go through that way over there. Down there's another NPC, but we can deal with him later. Now, this part you can see where I was a bit lost. I was looking for a soul item, which is in one of these corners over here. Pretty sure it's the one on the left, yeah, over here by this crying undead person. The Easter, it's a dexterity sword, I'm pretty sure. I'm gonna head down over here now. You can see this pot here. I'm just gonna smash it open, and we're gonna pick up an item called Translucent Curse. You get 2. That's for later on in the game. When you go to the other area, you're gonna be able to use it to fight a certain enemy. We're gonna be going over there right now, but we don't need to use it currently. Now we're gonna head over to the Valley of Drakes, I'm pretty sure. Now this area kind of links another area to the main hub, Filing Shrine. Now if you didn't use the master key, you'll be able to get through this door. Now you're gonna pick up this large sword, and it's gonna follow where I'm going, and it's gonna lead you to where you want to go. Now, one thing here you need to remember is that this tunnel here, don't go through it. It leads to a area later on in the game. There's a couple strong enemies. You can get past them and run past them and get a certain armor set if you're playing as a wizard, like a mage. But we're not, so there's really no point in needing to go do all of that. But you can see this huge enemy, sort of like a zombified dragon. This is where I died to this enemy. But you're gonna run here. You don't want to pick up these two soul items first. You're gonna go around here and pick up this soul of a proud knight. And then you're gonna want to pick up, I'm pretty sure I think it's the one on the left, or one of the, yeah, the one on the left. So it's here, trying to dodge its swipe, but I did die. But obviously for your viewing pleasure, I sped the video up quite a bit. Now at this point, but if you didn't die, you can go back the way you came from and you'd end up in the same place. Obviously, I did decide to have some fun with this certain undead here. And down here is the smith. I'm gonna let you talk to him.
This is unusual. You haven't lost your head. And more importantly, you're free. How on earth? Well, I shouldn't pry. I'm Rickett of Vinai. I was once an established smith. Look at me now. Can you believe it? Have you? Oh no. Don't worry. I've no intention of escape. It's safe here. I can't bear the thought of going hollow out there. Although, I must admit, not much to occupy myself. How about this? I could forge your weapons, albeit with rather minimal tools. I'll show you what made me the best in Vinai.
So what this guy's told us basically is that he's a smith and he'll reinforce our weapons and armor for us. He does sell some stuff for a sorcerer, but if you do choose a sorcerer class, you'll spawn in with it anyways. Now you will find a better smith later on in the game, pretty soon actually. When you do get the resources to upgrade your weapons, you really won't want to come back to him. You'd rather use the other smith because he's a lot better. Plus, you don't want to be upgrading any of your armor really, because it don't really help in this game. It's all about, you know, your stats, your weapons, and if you can time your rolls, your dodges, things like that. Now, anyways, right now we're about to go get the item required to upgrade my Estus flask. I don't see this part of the guide around on the internet much, but I decided to put it in because it's a good thing to have early game. You don't want to ignore any enemies that you find. You're gonna find these ghost people. You can't attack them. If you do use a translucent curse, you can, but you're too weak to attack them. So just follow where I'm going. Watch out on this place, a very narrow path. You can't fall off and die. Just pick up this, you get the Firekeeper soul, and you can use your homeward bones to get back to Firelink Shrine. Now you've pretty much got all the items in this area you can get. Now what we're going to do, we're going to head down to the Firekeeper right now. And we're going to reinforce our Estus Flask to +1. So just talk to her, reinforce Estus Flask, press yes. And you'll see that next to your Estus Flask on the bottom left-hand corner it says +1. You can get it up to +6 throughout the whole game. And if you do New Game Plus, you can get +6 again. Things like that. Now, you've pretty much got everything in this area, weapons, things like that. Now on the screen I'm about to show you how to pop your soul items. So like your soul of a proud knight, things like that. These give you soul points you can use to obviously upgrade your character, things like that. Now I did speed it up because it is a bit of a tedious thing to do. And now on screen I decided to show you the weapons we've collected. The different stats. Obviously where it says Rec Param, that's what's required to use these items. You will have to level your character up. Now the 2 items you can use straight off the bat would be the Morning Star and Cadelia Shield or something. But you'd rather just use the longsword right now. But if you do want to, you can obviously level up your dex and strength, use the Zweihander and Wing Spear. The Zweihander, you won't be able to get to 25 strength straight away, but you will be able to get to a high enough strength to use it with dual with both hands basically. And now that's really all A. Obviously I put 5 points into endurance, 5 points into vitality, and got my strength to 15. That's pretty good. Now from this point, all you have to do is go in the direction where I'm facing and start your Dark Souls journey and finish the game. Hope you found the guide useful, and I'll see you in the next one.